Good morning, good morning, good morning. How is everybody? What's up, Dark Fury? You're the first commenter. Just remember, I'm dual streaming on Twitch and YouTube. Good morning, Richard. Nice, perfect timing. Day of work done, and bam, the stream starts. We're here for you. We are here for you. Hello from Lisboa. Nice. Wow. I'm thinking about how to say your name, and I think it's like Oawa. Yeah, I don't know. So sorry. Curvin, what's up, man? I have had a great weekend. Hey, what's up? Good chatting yesterday. Naif, you got your second proposal accepted. Congrats, man. Cheers. That's great. Man, everybody show some love in the chat for Naif. Naif over on Twitch just got his second proposal accepted for some design work. So good job. That's great. Oh my God, Mr. John Beatty's in the house? Holy hell. This is amazing. Good morning, sir. Made your first AeroPress coffee. Nice. Richard says, presented Stylescapes this morning and got an awesome reaction, so I'm pumped. Happy to be here. Nice. Man, I like starting the day with some wins, guys. This is great. Cypheric, good to see you. AA's hype for the keyboard build. Yeah, actually. I just got the overhead ring in. Here it is. So this part goes on the wall. Audio's... I'm not going to stay super close to the mic during this, but this part attaches to the wall. Then there's this little handle here. And this basically extends... I think it's for lights, but for some reason it's meant to hold like 30 pounds. So this is going to be mounted like somewhere way up there, and it'll have like a top-down shot so that we can see the keyboard being put together. What a cool thing, Amazon. It's only like $50. Yeah, so that's going in today. And I think we're just going to put my old ADD, the Canon ADD, on top there with like a 50mm lens. Curvin's feeling good today. I'm doing great. Yeah, I got to see my brother this weekend on Sunday. And even though we live close, we're still doing the whole, quarantine thing. So it was just great to see him. So Sunday I was like pumped. I was like super pumped. I was like organizing the kitchen and doing all sorts of stuff that I don't normally do. I was just feeling revitalized because I get to see my bro, Denny, good to see you. Excited for the Circle group. Just signed up after the brand strategy workshop. Nice. Okay, you're going to really like that. Like, Annalie is an amazing human being, number one, but also she's just incredible at teaching brand strategy. She's done it for huge brands like Coca-Cola and all sorts of different stuff. So it's going to be a good session. Oh, John Beatty, I'll send you the link. Yeah, it's great. Damien, hello from Poland. Good to see you. I fear exactly 50 millimeter 1.8 exactly nifty 50. That's it. It's just like, you know, if I'm gonna suspend a camera in the air above me, I don't want it to be like one of the nice ones and not have like one of the nice lenses on it. So yeah, it's gonna we're gonna go cheap on that, but I think it'll look good. Not set up yet. No, today. What's up, Franjo? Influx 6, thank you for the follow. Sam Krugov, thank you for the follow. Derek, thank you for the follow. Yeah, those 50 mil lens are super cheap. They're definitely a bargain. Hugo, hello. Mr. Kettles, good to see you again. Also need to be punched in, yeah. Yeah, I think you know, it's not going to be way up there. Like literally this is maybe, my hand is maybe 26, 28 inches from the desk. You can barely see it. So I also have a second camera over here that should be pretty good for an alternate angle. I just have to navigate what to do with this arm. Yeah, it's all a learning curve. So what is everybody drinking on this Tuesday morning for me and Tuesday afternoon or evening for you? I'll share what I'm drinking. You guys put it in the chat. Today, we're fortunate to have received our order from Boy and the Bear. So I am drinking this. Let's focus. There we go. It's the Red Honey Mancho with notes of blackberry, wine, and dark chocolate. What's interesting about this is it is honey processed, which is something new. I've never seen this. Yeah, it's really this is new to me. I don't know what honey processing is. Chat, if you guys could look that up, that'd be really interesting to read. But yeah, so Chemex, fresh grind. It was roasted a little while ago, so we're kind of on the edge. It was February 11th, and it just took forever to get to us because of the whole weather stuff in Texas. So one smoke machine and the setup will be finished. Richard, yeah, I have LED lights that I tested out in the background, like those like floodlights, and I'm like, yeah, this is not me. Maybe when I like finally am able to stream some gaming or something, I'll throw those on, but it's just, I don't know. I was like, maybe no. Liquid of the Gods, water. Nice, Peter. Stay healthy. Cafe Bustelo. Okay. Is that I think that's the coffee from New Orleans, right? Yeah, let me know. Oh, it's Spanish? Oh, okay. What's the coffee that's like super famous from New Orleans in the yellow can? Colombia? No, the Red Honey Mancho that I'm drinking is from Colombia. Sierra Nevada de Santa Marta. Stoked on this. It tastes delicious. Boy and the Bear is like my favorite roaster, largely because of their like design aesthetic. I mean, it's just gorgeous stuff. But they also make great coffee too. Like their coffee is probably the best that I've ever had. But we do have some other stuff on the way so that I can make these like tasting Tuesdays a little bit more interesting. Is that like a thing? Should we make that a thing? Oh. Yeah, Cafe Du Monde. Yeah, that's what it is. Sorry. Mr. Kettles is about to go make a second cappuccino with some Peruvian beans. Nice. Tasting Tuesday. Okay, so I'm no expert, but I can definitely taste the blackberry in this roast. It says dark chocolate. I'm not getting very many chocolate notes though. Not into coffee. I'm so sorry, Anna Lisboa. Yeah. Tasting Tuesday, yeah. Do I have something to keep my coffee mug hot? No, I just drink it really fast. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Okay, so honey processed coffee. Zach just pasted that in the chat. Let's see what this is. How is honey processed different from washed or natural? The honey process is a hybrid that combines elements of both techniques to create new differentiations in flavor. So let's see. They're depulped but allowed to dry without washing. Oh, so some of the fruit from the coffee bean is still there, just not nearly as much as in the natural process. Most of the cherry is gone. The remaining goldy, sticky, I don't even want to say that word, is reminiscent of honey, which is where the process gets its name. That's cool. That's really, really cool. So it's kind of like in between. So now my favorite roast is pretty much anything that's natural processed, because I love like the fruity flavors. I absolutely love the natural and organic by Boy and the Bear. That's my favorite. And there's one that has, I think it's natural and organic, that tastes like watermelon. It's like amazing. So it's really interesting. Honey processed. Huh. I have been eyeballing those Ember mugs. You know, the ones that like use Bluetooth to keep your coffee warm, or to like set a temperature for your coffee. And I've been toying around with the idea of getting one, but they're just too expensive. Like $90 is like $40 more expensive. It's $40 more than I'd be willing to spend on a coffee mug. JT Robinson, what's up? It is a new channel. Just kind of experimenting with doing some low-key streaming instead of doing the shorter streams that we do over on the Future. Oh, Mo, you got one for your father-in-law and he loves it. That's cool. Yeah. Drinking a local brand out of Rotterdam. I'm not even going to try it. But the name means man with glasses. Dude, that's great. The more you know. Exactly. Please call me Dave. Thank you for the follow. JT Robinson, thank you for the follow. Iron01, Sigardison. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate that. Hey, do me a favor. Somebody who is on YouTube, hit subscribe. I want to see if it shows up in my activity feed. If you want. I don't think I've earned subscribers over there on YouTube, but hit subscribe because I want to see if it shows up in my feed. Leo, what's going on? Get one of those candle warmer plates and sit your coffee cup up top. That's cool. Yeah. That's a good idea. I had one of those, like, they make those Mr. Coffee warmers that the cup like sits on top of it, but yeah. Right. I need my own roast, Mr. Coffee Burns. I toyed around with it. I had a client once that wanted to start a coffee company with me, and we did a bunch of research and it just never went anywhere. Am I streaming somewhere else at the same time? Yeah, I'm streaming both on Twitch and YouTube. So I'm trying to get the YouTube hours watched up a little bit, and then I'll probably accept the Twitch affiliate agreement, and then just exclusively live stream over there. Dave loves coffee so much, but he can only drink a cup of it a day, or he starts vibrating off of his chair. That's hysterical. Yeah, my tolerance for caffeine has gone down the fancier the coffee has gotten. So like, this is not a cheap bag of coffee. Like this bag of coffee is probably $18, and it lasts about a week if we drink 1 cup a day. And so initially it was more like a cost thing because I didn't want to make a whole bunch of coffee every single day and you know, have $10 coffee days. But then the caffeine tolerance went down, and so now it's a 1 cup situation for me too. Marcus, thank you for the follow. Is it just you? Oh yeah. So both my wife and I drink coffee. So we make that's why we stick with Chemex, so that it makes 2 cups at once, which is great. Kelliz, the Twitch link is the same. I think it's twitch.tv/MrBenBurns. I'm also an old man and can't be drinking coffee all day or I won't fall asleep. Yeah. Hey, Queen May. Is this popcorn? Nice. Right. We got to get to work. What are you guys working on today? Let me know in the chat. I was watching Charlie Marie's stream earlier. She might be still streaming. So if you're going to bail out of my stream, go over to her stream because she's doing some cool stuff. She's making she's designing a little microsite. So what are you guys working on today? We're going to be finishing the, what do you call this thing? The carousel Webflow. I hope, barring anything. And we have in the Discord, I basically asked people to vote. And so you see right here, we got some votes going with emojis, and by a narrow margin, finishing the slider, finishing the carousel beat out starting down the personal site, you know, creative research. So that's what we're doing today. And if you're not a member of the Discord, the link is in the profile and it's also in my Instagram bio. So I would love to have you. It's basically we're testing out the community features in Discord, seeing if we would onboard them into the future, but it's also just kind of like a good way to connect with me and people who tune into the stream. The other thing that we're going to be doing is we're probably going to be pulling people on live from Discord. So I've got a couple of focus rooms set up and then a stream chat room where, you know, people will be able to join live when I'm jumping in there. Yeah. And then you'll also be able to help shape this stream and where it goes. So that's cool too. All right. So what are people working on? Let's see. Oh no, Zach, you can't throw your wife under the bus like that. She likes a little coffee with her creamer. At least it's the same way. But actually, you know, since we've been drinking Boy and the Bear, Elise has moved away from creamer. I think drinking great coffee helps kind of move you out of the creamer space, because if you put too much creamer in coffee, it's an indication that the coffee is actually burnt. Like literally it's burnt. And so you have to cover up some of that, the bitterness that comes from an over roasted bean. And so when we started drinking coffee that was roasted well, you know, not like Starbucks. Starbucks is terribly over roasted. I moved away from creamer, and then now my wife has moved away from that. So try it. I don't know what counts as old. I'm 33 and still drink coffee at like 9 p.m. Wow. Integrating orders into an ERP. What is an ERP, Anna Lisboa? Working on some social templates. Nice. I think you were working on that last time. Peter is working on how I can subscribe to your channel. It's coming. It's coming. AA is watching both me and Charlie at the same time. Nice. Sweet. It feels so nice to be able to have this kind of a casual vibe. This is the goal. right? This is the goal. And at the risk of like tanking any kind of traffic in YouTube, because of the long, lengthy streams where people kind of jump in and out, having a low retention for a video is a bad thing for the algorithm. But I like the vibe so much that I don't know, I'm gonna keep doing it. Franjo just jumped out of her. Oh no. Yeah, Charlie's doing some cool stuff. Mr. Kettles is launching a one-page Webflow site for a client. Nice. Excellent. Rocky, good to see you in the chat, man. We got to catch up. You going to stream today and create an illustrated version of the USPS truck concept? Killer. Yeah, I saw that go viral. Yep. Chris is working on some web design. Culture is working on taxes. Oh, no. Oh, no. Yeah, I got to do that myself. I'm not looking forward to it. Franjo says, I like the Discord channel. Helped me to buy a book today. Yeah, I created a book channel at the request of Zypheric Travis, and I'm stoked for that. Yeah, Shivani needed some motivation to work on some product screens. We'll do that now. Nice. Man, it's so great to see so many people active in the chat. I can't keep up now. It's just fantastic. Denny is training himself on a brand identity, a burger company. Dude, the burger joint brands are some of the funnest to work on, because you can be just totally rebellious. Buongiorno, Khalil. I actually took Italian in college, and the one word that stuck in my head out of 2 years of Italian was the word GLI. It's like G. I can't even say it right, but it's like if you have it's I think it's the that precedes a word with two consonants in the start of the word. So it's like G or something like that, spaghetti. And I just thought that was so weird, so it's kind of stuck in my brain. Air purifier stories, nice. Email layouts. Moonraid, email layouts are probably my least favorite thing to design, honestly. Khalil's working on a case study, nice. Cultured, am I a gamer? Would I call myself a gamer? I don't know. I've played games all of my life, like literally from 4 or 5. And I'm not terrible, but I don't know if I would call myself a gamer. I don't know if I've earned that right. I tell you what, wait till I get my monitor situation figured out and I stream a game, and then you let me know if I'm a gamer. Do we consider Twitch streaming asset redesign as graphic design? Yeah, I would consider so. Sagar. How about some Portuguese? I've never attempted Portuguese. Would you like to say hello? Hola. Yes, nailed it. I'm gonna be a pro gamer streamer soon. Yeah. No, I pitched this idea to Greg. I was like, Greg, here's what we need to do. Greg Gunn, who's on the Future channel. I was like, here's what we need to do. You and me, we need to game together. But it needs to just be total dad life. Like seriously, like he's not a dad, but he's of age to be a dad. Like white New Balances, tall socks, like dad hat, the works. And then instead of trolling people, when we die, we can, the stream chat, or like at the end of the game, the death chat can just be like, man, like just kill him with compliments. Like, God, you guys were just glowing. You guys are amazing, and just like do something like that where it's like, just kill him with kindness. Fanny packs, yeah, exactly. So it's just like dad life gaming. Oh, you just shot me in the face. I'm so proud of you. I don't know. I don't think the world needs another just like straight up gaming streamer, but it's something I do. I play almost every night. Play Warzone and a couple other things. I was obsessed with Skyrim for a while. Cargo pants, cargo shorts, even better. Lawnmower in the background, you know? That'd be hysterical. But now we need to get to work. So, oh man, okay, Khalil says, I'm watching a case study on how to make a case study to get clients, but I can't follow through the whole video because I haven't done any work for them yet. Any pointers for me to make? Okay, this is a good question. I'll answer this one before we jump into Webflow and start working on this carousel. Case studies are meant to be used for projects that you've already done. So you never want to make a case study to pitch a job to a potential client. If that makes sense. So I think that like one of the misconceptions out there is that like we can do some spec work, some work for free, or some work before we have a relationship, and then we make a case study about that, and then we send it to a potential client, and then they look at it and they're like, man, this is great, we'll hire you, or we'll buy this off of you. And I would say that happens maybe 1 in 100,000 times. I just it's a dangerous road to go down. I think that a better way to do it would be to find something that desperately needs a redesign, or jump in the Discord and partner up with maybe one of the web developers that needs help with, design on a project that they're working on, or maybe even somebody's personal brand. Like partner up with somebody who can barter services with you, somebody who's learning web development, somebody who's a photographer or a videographer, and see if you can trade services in order to build each other's portfolios. Then you take that project and use that as a case study, and then send that as an example of your work to other clients or potential clients. Hope that helps. Yeah. Can't wait to see how you do Webflow. I'm trying to build our new website on Webflow. It's coming, but I'm learning as I go. Yeah, that's how we did. I mean, building a brand was like the second or third. So here's my progress with Webflow. I built my current personal site, MrBenBurns.com, and it's rough. The back end is rough. The front end is kind of rough. It breaks at certain sizes, and it is what it is. So then we moved into the building a brand site, and that was a bumpy journey. Like we got the first version done in a couple days with the help of an intern, and then we just kind of perfected it from there. And then now the entire future website is built in Webflow, including some crazy things that I never thought that we would do in a site builder like Webflow. So yeah, just keep iterating. Like the past couple of streams should indicate like it's okay to fumble, to fail, and that's kind of another reason why I wanted to start streaming, because there's so much design content out there that's like, here's the finished product and it's beautiful, but they're hiding the pain and the bumps and the bruises that they picked up along the way, and I just want to share that part. Greg Gunn's website is built on Webflow. Yep. It's best to break stuff. Yeah, exactly. And I think like for some reason designers are not as vulnerable about the creative process as artists are. Like artists, they break stuff, they try stuff, they throw stuff away, they start over. And for some reason, designers have this idea that we have to be perfect, and I just don't think that's very healthy. So that's part of the reason why I'm doing this whole streaming thing. It's like, I struggle just alongside everybody else, and I am the world's most mediocre designer. So come along with me. We'll run in the walls together. That's it. The last of the coffee, but I got backups. Nectar of the Gods, some water, And of course, some seltzer. All right. Webflow is not the cheapest, Khalil. It is not. But I think that if you can get one client where you build a website in Webflow, then it's worth it. We got the same coffee mug? What? This is a great coffee mug, by the way. I think it's one of those Magnolia things. Yeah, it's my favorite. Yep, from Target. There's a viral video that just went out about Target dads or Target husbands. And they're like car camping in the parking lot. It's hysterical. All right, let's get in here. So first, let us take, oh, Sang, what are you doing, dude? Uh-oh. Hang on, guys. I gotta make sure that Sang's out of here. Slacking him right now. That is in my mind, this is literally the worst part about Webflow, is that when you're in the designer, it can only have one person in a project at a time. Have you guys figured this out? Like, you Webflow pros in the chat, like, have you guys figured out how to work around this? Like, do you work on separate installs, or is it just one person in there? What's up? Sup? I've been trying to profile the target audiences these web dev platforms are reaching to. Very cool. Mecoiler, my stream is looking so cinematic. I am using a LUT. It's applied to the. I'm using a Canon EOS R with a 1635 lens, and it's piped into Streamlabs, which applies the LUT. It's just a subtle LUT. Just kind of takes the blacks down a little bit. All right, he's not responding. He's also offline, and it's literally like 7 a.m. or 8 a.m. where he's at, so I'm taking over. It was a hostile takeover, but worth it. You can add multiple editors, but only one can be in the designer interface at a time. Yeah. Vargas Official, thank you for the follow. Sup, thank you for the follow. Stabitus, thank you for the follow. I am Severin. Void. I think Culture Dweeb. Thank you for the follow, yeah. All right, let's get to work. It's time. So if I'm quiet, it's because I'm trying to figure this out, and I will pipe up in a little bit. But the whole idea is really not to make this a tutorial. It's more to just kind of like work together. But also I will be trying to think out loud, which in the past has been tough for me, but it's worked. It's been starting to work, I should say. Let's see, quit out of that. And quit out of that. All right, so let's take a look at XD. Whoa. A new camera border. Yeah, I'm trying something out. Yeah, I got a little thing there. I don't have like subs open at this point or anything, so there's that. But if you hit follow, it like starts that little follow train over again, and then your name will show up under there. Yeah. You know. We're trying. All right, so we're working on these sliders, and these are built inside Webflow, but we are also using Slick Slider to do the movement. And if we preview them in desktop, they should still work. So they should be able to be dragged. Oh, that one doesn't. That one doesn't either. Oh, it's because it's on the published site. So if we go here, I like had a mini panic there. So here's the published version of the site. Yeah, there we go. Nice. So cool. So that's clickable and draggable. And then also we can use the arrows to click and drag. Now the cool thing about this, the hard thing was to get this to be as dynamic and connected to the CMS as possible. So this is, we have like 900 videos on the channel, and I wanted something that would show each individual video, but also like build out the list. So some carousels are going to have 9 videos in them. Some carousels are going to have, 457 items in them. And Webflow by default does not have that. So we built it with some custom code last stream, which was an emotional roller coaster, by the way. So this time what we need to do is we need to work on the actual items that are inside the carousel, and we need to add a hover effect, and then also link to the video page. So that's what we're going to do today. It's pretty simple. All right, hang on one second. Let me fix this. There we are. John Beatty like that. Yeah, it's pretty nice. The opacity, or I keep saying opacity, the opaque gradient here. Proud of. Right, so let's get back into the designer. So we started out in XD. I just like XD better as far as like a design interface. And we started building out our hover states and our clickable states here. So I'm thinking this is going to be hover. So if we analyze this, we've got a border that goes around the whole video. We've got the video expanding in size. We've got a gradient that kind of folds up, and then a title, and then a watch button. Khalil says I'm in just chatting. Yeah, I actually did that on purpose this time. And I think it's working. It seems like there's way more viewers in just chatting than in art. I always feel weird about saying I'm doing art, because design and art, that's a classic debate. I don't know, because I'm half like in web dev and half like in design. I don't know, man. Don't try to put me in a box, Khalil. Just kidding. We do need a design section, and I'm gonna bring the full weight of my design community to lobby for a category in Twitch called design. All right, so I'm gonna start with this. So the biggest thing that I'm like worried about is the scale effect, because if we, like, let's say we wanted to take this item, right, and we have a B item, we could add a hover state, and then maybe we scale it to, I don't know, 550 pixels. That doesn't do anything. I think that the scale thing might not work. So initially what I had planned is to have, let's go ahead and get that reset. Initially what I had planned was to have all of these kind of display flex, but on the front end, the custom code that we needed actually resizes everything. So I'm thinking resizing a thumbnail that was resized by custom code is just asking for a headache. So I'm going to avoid that. I think we can still do the border. I think we can still do some cool stuff on the inside of the card. But I'm gonna hit pause on that that whole scale thing. Tepish says, I think you got to use transform scale, not width scale, because of the percentage widths. That may be the case, although the items are in pixels, like the actual card here. So I'm not sure if that would work. We could try it. So maybe we go 1.2. Oh, I'm not in hover. Okay, and then we'll add a transition here. No, we won't do that yet. Let's just test it. Yeah, see, it's weird, isn't it? Yeah. I think it's just going to end up weird because we had to layer so much stuff on top of it. But that's okay. It's not that big of a deal. Like, I think we'll have plenty of other cool stuff happen when you hover that we won't really... I don't think we'll miss it. And if we do, we'll figure it out. But let's do the easy stuff first. All right. So we've got the thumbnail as an image in here. And then we've got our link block. And maybe we put the hover effect on the link block, actually. Hey, buddy. Puppy just came in. Lay down. I say puppy, he's 14. Right. So right now I'm thinking about how to wrap things in the containers that they're gonna live in. I think with a gradient, like the best way to do this is going to be to add a layer on top of the thumbnail. So if you notice, like, we've got a card wrapper that's a link wrapper, and then we've got a thumbnail inside there. And I think we can just do like a div that's positioned absolute, and inside that div, it's got the title, and then the background of said div is a gradient. What's up, Skull17? Right on. Thank you. All right, so let's do that. I usually use camel case, and we saw last time that can throw some crazy curveballs. So I'm gonna move away from that. So we're gonna make it absolute, which positioned it kind of on top of everything and in relationship to the parent container. And we'll make this 100% width and 100% height. I can already see an issue with this, but that's okay. Figure this out. So then we've got our background. So something that I learned from the chat is that when we're working on a transparent background, we want to add kind of like a color on the inside, in the middle, set it to the same color as the black, and then turn the opacity down. What that does is it makes all the grays in between same color. And then you can take your white off and play around with it just to make it work the right way. Tepish, yeah, that was you. Thanks for that, man. That was huge. 0, so that's at the bottom. Okay, so can you guys spot the issue that I'm gonna have with this moving forward? Scrolling through this so you can see what's up. No? Nobody in the chat? Here's the issue. The gradient is going completely off the card, and I think it's because it's positioned absolute, and what a position absolute item needs, I think, devs, correct me if I'm wrong, but it needs to be inside of something that's got a relative position. And if we look at this link block, I bet you it's static. Yep, static. So we change that, I think we're in good shape. So that just fixed it. So I'll show you. If I undo that, I change the parent card's positioning. And we can change this back to static. And you'll see that child div, it goes over the border. You can see that little blue line there. So we'll make this relative, and then the child div remains inside. Why is that? Why is that, devs? Like, what's the difference between static and relative that makes absolute kind of relate to the parent container better? Let me know. All right, so then I want a border around this. So we'll just do 2 pixels and we'll make this like the gray color. Nice. So inside this div, we'll add, should I wrap the contents? Yep, I should. So I'm going to wrap the elements down here in a div as well. The video card title container. My class names are not great today. So we'll set this to flex so we can control positioning. We'll set it to vertical and bottom align. So that way anything we put in this div will show up there. And then we're gonna make this flex as well, but we'll do horizontal, and then we'll have the things aligned to the edges right there. So in here we can add, not gonna be a heading. I think it's just gonna be a text block. So we'll add that there. And matter of fact, we'll go ahead and get this text from the videos. Put the title in there. Perfect. And we'll make this be video title. So there's a reason why it's blue. Does anybody know why it's blue? Let me know in the chat. Matter of fact, I think I'm gonna have to wrap that as well. So then we've got the space for our play button. It's so weird. being zoomed in like this, because normally I can see pretty much everything. Let's see. So we need a play. Oh, play. This is gonna be too big. Yeah. There we go. That's an SVG. What do you guys think? Because they're links. Yep. Void got it. It is because the parent item is a link. Tepish, yep, you're spot on. So basically we've got our links set to this blue color by default. So we'll just need to change the color of this text. That's something that like early on, it really frustrated me. I could not figure it out. Why link colors were always blue. So we can set this to maybe like a 25%. Maybe 33%. And this can be our gray color. Make this a little smaller. And then breaking, no wrap. Center this bad boy and then add a little bit of margin here. Like it. Why is this? Why are you the way that you are? And you, why are all these different? Let's see. Oh my gosh. Wrapper. All right, so I think we need to set some widths here. We can set this to maybe 33%. And then this to 66% width. There we go. Now both things fit. And we'll change this. So this is an issue that we're going to run into all the time with this. It's this lengthy title. So I'm going to think about this. Okay, so Anna Lisboa is, she says, I never remember the order, but I think absolute is in relation to the first parent in the upwards DOM tree with relative positioning. Yeah, so that's the way it works. I don't understand, why would you ever want to have a static item over a relative position item? That's what doesn't make sense to me. I'm just a dumb designer, okay? This is just, you gotta make it easy for me. All right, let's see. So we need to add some padding here. Maybe 20. That's too far. There we go. Let's take a look at our XD doc. So we've got 36 and 37. So that's terrible for my OCD. 1, 2, 3, 4. So there's 30. And 1, 2, 3. 30 and 40. Cool. So automatically this is like much smaller. Definitely need to make this like way smaller. This is probably what? So it's 82 pixels wide, but this is going to be 82 is a percentage of 518. That's like a fifth. So we need to put that at like 16%. This container here. Mo Beta. that's not going to work though. It's too small. Now that is a terrible idea. Let's see. Quick search static versus relative static is the natural default order of the element. Yeah. Yep. What's up, Banger? Oh my gosh, guys, we've got t.ricks in the chat. Tim, just want to say thank you sincerely for the tutorial that helped us get here, get to this place. Super pumped that you're here, man. Also change the text color on the link block. You know what? That's probably in better form because that's going to set all of the text on the inside. So we've got B card as our class there, and we can just set this to our gray color. And then let's see, when we remove these colors, it remains the same. Okay, so let's check this out. We've got a container that is, I think it's 500 pixels. Yeah. So we're pretty close to our XD document. And then this is 22 medium, so it's the same. So I think we just need to scale this down. What's this? 21. Something's not lining up. I'm zooming in for the chat so you guys can see what I'm doing, but I think that's screwing up some of the visuals there. All right, let's see. So 22, that's normal. If I just leave the widths off of this and then make this kind of like a maximum width of 50%. Too far. I think I'm just going to have to reduce the size of this. Set it to pixels. Let's see. Oh. It's 23 pixels, so we can go set that. And then we go watch now and reduce this margin. That looks better. I guess it's not affecting it too much. It's really just affecting the width here. Okay, and then we've got padding. Let's see. Reset that and put that on the parent here. So we've got 30, 40. So you can see when we have 3 lines for a video title, it's going to get a little bit tricky. The other thing I want you guys to notice is that even in Webflow, I'm working in iterations. So even though the classes are like going to be site-wide because they're CSS classes, I'm adding elements to the last carousel so that if I ever need to like bomb back here, it's there. It's there for me. Tepish, you're right, almost. I'm on iTunes because I like it, but Charlie, what's up? I have no idea. You and I are nice. Well, thanks for the raid, Charlie, and all of you who are here from Charlie's stream. Welcome. We're working in Webflow. Andrew, nice. Andrew's on YouTube and he says, "Thanks for doing this with us. Really appreciate you sharing your process and thinking as you work through your process, your project, learning a ton." Nice. Yeah, I'm just like, I mean, this is by no means a tutorial, but I figure it's nice to just like hear somebody's thought process in there. Man, Charlie, you're gonna have to like stream after me one of these days so that I can raid your channel. That'd be, I gotta show the love. Okay, back to work. So the reason it looks a little bit tall in here, and it's because we have this button that we need to figure out. And I'm thinking that we nail this hover effect before the button. We make sure it works with Webflow interactions before we integrate any more elements. Yep. Okay, so on the link card, I'm going to add an interaction, and it's going to be hover. On hover, we're going to start an animation, and look at this, guys. This is how many interactions that we have throughout the whole site. It's crazy. All right, so new timed animation, and we're going to call this video card hover in. All right, so I assigned the action to the link block here. But the first thing that I need to do is basically set this container to probably like display none, maybe. So we can hide and show here under miscellaneous. We're going to set this as the initial state. And all elements with this class. Okay. And we'll set it to display none. All right. And then we'll also take the opacity way, way down. Set that as the initial state as well. Okay, so you see those disappeared, which is a good thing. And then we'll keep things simple when we test it. So we'll do 0.3 duration and do out quad. And we'll take her up to 100% again. So hopefully when you hover, we need to display this as well. So let's see, we need to add show hide, and we'll add that basically before it. And set that to, I think it was flex. There it is. Okay, so this is super simple. So this is supposed to happen on hover, and I set the initial state to be display none with the opacity of 0, and then on hover it'll show it, so it'll display flex, and then increase the opacity. And we'll have some movement in here as well, but I just want to make sure that the interactions play well with the custom code that we have layered on. So now it's time to publish. Luke, what's up? Luke Jordan Potts. I do love some Ben Burns. Thanks. Thanks for heading over from Charlie's stream. Charlie, I gotta go watch the VOD to see what your solution was for that header. That's an interesting problem. Having a logo that's not really a logo, but yeah, it's a good stream. Tepish, Stream Beats is great. That's the music that you're listening to now. It's not something that I listen to every single day, like on my personal time, but it's copyright free. And you can play it during the stream, and it's super chill. It's good vibes. They have like rap and house and stuff that get really intense as well. I think I played one of those the other day in my intro when we were getting ready to tackle this. But yeah. So while that's working, we can just kind of preview this and see. So you can see on hover, stuff fades in and it's nice. This carousel does not have any of those elements, so that's not going to work. You'll notice that it doesn't go away, and that's because we have to set the hover out state, which we'll do later. But we need to publish it on the, full site so that, there it is, so that we can test, because, this is a slick slider. We need to make sure that that custom code plays well with the interactions that we just added. Okay, moment of truth. It works. It works so well. It's also so small. What? Could somebody give me a breakdown of this issue plan with the carousels? It looks like he's been creating them for 3 streams. We have been creating them for 3 streams. It took 2 streams to figure out how to get the functionality that Chris wanted with some custom code, and that was a big battle. And now we're just kind of adding hover effects and cool stuff on top. So we should be wrapped up today. Okay, so the hover effect plays well with the slider, which is great. We're gonna have to work on our type sizing though. So that's something to tackle. Okay. So let's go ahead and add our hover out action. And the easiest way that I've found to do this, and you guys in the chat, correct me if I'm wrong, but I typically just duplicate the interaction and then add it to the hover out and just basically reverse everything. Our menu interaction has like 40 actions in here, so it was ridiculous. And we just need to switch the order of this stuff, right? So we take the opacity and we turn the opacity down on hover out, and then we hide it again. So that should work. Let's preview it. Cool. Super simple. I think it works great. All right, so let's make it not so simple. All right, let's see. We're going to, so we're at this point, and before we get here at the same time, I think what I want to do is take these wrappers here where we've got our title and the play button. Oops. So we've got our title wrapper and the play button wrapper here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make these kind of like float in as the opacity is changing. So in order to do that, I need to add an initial state where I move them down a little bit. So we will move, but maybe like a -10 pixels on that. Oh. Maybe a 20. Them down. Set that as the initial state. Then we'll add another action for move. And we'll move them back to 0. So that kind of bumps them up. We'll add this as maybe 0.2. The out quad. I think we should do this at the same time as we're moving our opacity, but we can take our opacity and just make this a little bit longer. So that way the move happens in the middle of the opacity change. Nice. So that even that might be a little long. It feels like it lasts a little too long. So I'm going to shorten that duration. Oh, it's because it's 0.5 for some reason. Maybe I said it, but I didn't do it. Can you imagine? Imagine that, chat. There we go. Nice. And we'll do the same thing with the play button wrapper. Set an initial state. Add 20 pixels to the Y position. And move it back to 0. Set that at 2 as well. And then because I haven't watched t.ricks tutorial on delaying animations automatically, I'm going to add kind of a 0.1 second delay. Add some easing on that. And let's play. Totally did not work. Hold on. Hold up. There we go. So it's moving at the same time. So let's see what's up. Oh, the delay went away. Okay, that's a little better. Actually, that doesn't look right. Hold up now. Oh, you know why? It's because the entire thing is moving to 100% opacity. So you actually see its beginning position and it sits there for a split second. Whereas the other one kind of fades in with the rest of the thing. So we have a couple options here. We can set individual opacities inside here. Or maybe this is the play. We just change the move position to be maybe like 30 pixels here so that it has to move a greater distance. Oh. Okay. Individual opacity it is. See, this is the time where I'm like, I'm thinking about doing something. I'm doing it. And I know there's probably a better suggestion in the chat. I can feel it. Let's see. That's a little better. Oh, you know what? I was like, man, that delay is crazy, but I forgot to move this back here. Back to 20. Should be prettier. Yeah, better. Okay, so you notice on rehover, nothing's moving, right? That's because on hover out, we have to reset the move positions back to their initial state. And we can do that like after the hover effect goes away. so that, you know, it's not animating out every single time. It can get a little overwhelming. So we'll save that and go back over here. Find the play and then add move to, yeah, see, we can just do 0 and then set this back to 20. Same thing with this. This back, set this to 0 and set this at 20. And then the other thing is the opacity. This item must go back to 0. And we don't need any animation there. Okay, let's try it. Nice. There it is. Okay, so it's been a minute, so let's publish and see how we go. Yeah, Avahi, it's just my 9 to 5, or, you know, we work 10 to 7. There's a lot of management. It's a lot of coordination. Working with, you know, external companies, trying to put together new sponsorship deals, doing, looking for new authors for courses. And so the time that I have for design and content is literally right now. So that's why it's taken so long to get this done. It's because, you know, I didn't want to leave you guys without the end of the story. I think that if the pressure of the stream wasn't on, or if I was just like just hanging out doing this slider would have took maybe 2 days. It was pretty bumpy in the beginning, like getting the content management system to play well with a dynamic slider like this. It was a little rough. All right, let's see if this worked here. Nice. Very nice. Okay, and it still works with the slider. Okay, so we'll tackle type in a minute. Definitely need to do something about that. Let's see if by changing the... Yeah, you see it looks better at a smaller width, and I think that's because it's just set in pixels, so we might have to bring in some responsive type. But the interaction looks good so far. Okay. How you guys doing? You hanging in there? Tim says could set the parent wrapper to overflow hidden and move the items out of view. Oh, yeah, that's actually good. What do you guys think? Because right now when the page loads, these items are display none. Is that going to cause issues in the future? Oh, for sure. Avahi's like, what are we doing here, guys? Why are we taking so long? Nice, good. Full focus. All right, Khalil. Ulrich on YouTube says, why don't you write a notification for the streams on Facebook or Slack, or did I just miss these? No, I think it's, I just wanted to keep this kind of low key for a while, but now that we're in a rhythm, now that we're like doing this on a regular basis, I might expand the notification squad. I can only think of SEO potential problems. Yeah. Because if we have everything set to display none, then SEO is not going to read that stuff. I don't know that matters though, like, because it's still going to be linked. We're not going to hide the link. I don't know. Who knows a lot about SEO? Like, put it Put in the chat. Are we shooting ourselves in the foot by having the title of this card display none? Why are they display none? Oh, basically we're just achieving a hover effect. So like we've got, you know, the border and these elements kind of fading in. But they start off, like on page load, they start off by display none. Thanks. You know what'd be really cool is to expand or like scale the thumbnail up inside the card as well. That would be a nice effect. So like, let's see, we could do this. Set this to overflow hidden, like MrBenBurns was suggesting, and then add that to our hover effect. So let's see, we got so many interactions. Oh my God. So we could just scale that. Maybe go like 10%. I don't know. Hold on, did I forget how to scale? Size, that's what it is, not scale. %, maybe. So we can set that over here. See if that works. It surely doesn't. What am I doing wrong, chat? Size, let's see. Oh my God. Can you not go over 110%? Like, what? There's no initial state. Maybe that's it. So if we throw that in initial states and then maybe we go 120% here. Try that. Nope. Transform scale was the right size, but with an initial state. Okay, let's try it. Cheers, Charlie. Thanks for tuning in. Okay, so scale. And the unit here is basically in percentages, right? Like, so 1. And then we add another. No. I'm confused. Yeah. All right, let's check on this real quick. So it's set to 100% width. Fit is fill. Position absolute. No, it's static. Maybe just changing it to relative. That positioning, man. That's what it is. What's interesting is that like the other stuff is not working as well. Notice that? It's really strange. Let's take that away. What happened here? Oh, you know what? I bet you that the order is wrong. There's something going on with Z index where the thumbnail is covering the actual container here. So let's check that real quick. This container is set to absolute. The gradient overlay needs a Z index. Okay. Okay. So we'll just put that at 99. There it is. Okay. But why is this relative to the body now? Is it because we changed this from static to relative? And why does that make sense? No, it doesn't. That's a bug in Webflow. Oh, bummer. That sucks. Yeah, because it should be relative to the parent item that's set to relative. Yeah, that's weird. Explain yourself. Set the body element's position to relative. I don't want to. That's what I say. You just ignore it? Nice. Okay. I figured because it's like it looks like it should. So let's go back and make sure our hover effect is still. Yeah, nice. All right, so now that we went down that path, which was crazy. So this is position relative. It's also got a 100% width. So is the transform scale still the right call here if this is overflow hidden? Okay, so what happens when you scale the image in the style panel? Let's check that out. So we'll do 1.5 just to be crazy. Nothing. Or should it be X and Y 1.5? Oh, maybe that was it. I was I was trying to do I was trying to scale the Z instead of the X and Y dimensions. So let's try adding that. Throw this in initial state. Have it set to 1. And add it down here. Go like 1.1. There it is. Cool. What is that Z scale? Yeah, that's nice. I gotta add it to the hover out. So pretty. Somebody tell me what that Z scale is. Like, what does that apply to? Because I, being the designer, I saw a diagonal arrow, and that's all I was going on. Seriously, that was it. All right, let's do scale. And we'll set this back to 1. We don't need a duration on that because it's hidden. Oh, Avahi, where are these other comments coming from? Just so you guys know, I'm dual streaming. I'm streaming on Twitch and YouTube. So I wish that I could display the multi-chat in the multiverse for everybody to see. And I will. In the just chatting sections, I'm working on a way that I can just share it on screen so that you guys can see it. But yeah. So Tepish says Z is how far in front or away it is from the camera, basically. And Z scale multiplies that Z transformation. Okay. Gotcha. So if we scaled, so we're basically scaling the Z index. So we could send it backwards. I wonder why you would want to do that. That seems really strange. All right, we're gonna publish again just to make sure we're good. Also worth noting, Z index is only relative to an element and its siblings. Ah. Jonatas Feria, thank you for the follow. Jurgneb, thank you for the follow. Catalin, Jatarts, V Neckel, Pelagrad, Sketch Gin Repeat, nice name. Thank you for the follow. Borja Castropol, thank you for the follow. And then obviously, thank you, Charlie, for the raid earlier. 22 people, that's great. Okay, so Zypheric says Z index is more like Photoshop layers. Z transform is the Z axis in the 3D environment. Okay, I'm gonna challenge you guys. You guys in chat that know what the hell are you talking about? Please, please make something visual so that we could see this in action. That would be so cool to be able to learn this like visually. Like this could be your first YouTube video if you're not doing this already. It would be great for us designers who are like in here tinkering around with Webflow to actually understand this stuff. So us visual people, like learning by reading descriptions of what it is, it's a lot different than actually seeing it in action. So it'd be great to see something like that. All right, so we've got an issue here with Webflow. So around this time last stream, I started dropping frames and it was super stuttery. So let me know if that happens in the chat, guys. All right, Travis just put something in the chat. So let's check that out. All right, so Z transform, translate Z, 0 pixels. Okay. Oh, I see. Is that scaling too? It's hard to tell. Tepish responds in the chat with words. Doesn't make sense, man. Just kidding. All right. Oh, okay, here we go. All right, so this is transforming the Z in the transforming Z here. It's a good example. Oh, wow, look at that. Look at all those frames. That's cool. So it's basically Zoom. It's basically zoom, but I mean, you can see that like the positioning on the page is changed too. So it's a little bit more than just X and Y scale. It's really neat. Thank you, Travis. All right, let's see. We're back in here. We need to go over to, where's our new home page? Here it is. Check our publish time 3 minutes ago. Nice. Refresh. X and Y make it smaller. Z pushes it back in 3-day space. It's good explanation. Basically was what Tepish was saying. You know, you're kicking a ball further away from you and it looks smaller, but it's literally in 3D space. It's the same size, it's just farther away, which is cool. Awesome. All right, so we are in great shape with our interactions, and now we gotta add that hover out scale to the image there. For some reason, that's pretty delayed. It's probably got a time built into it. Let's check that out. You know, we could probably scale that down with the opacity. That might actually look better. Yeah, that's much more natural than like snapping. One thing that I'm noticing as I'm like giving everyone epileptic seizures and hovering over this multiple times, I'm noticing that like there's a ghosting of the text after I hover out. Notice that? I think we need to add a little bit of transition there. Just make this like super fast. Cut it down to like 2 seconds. That feels better. Okay. All right, so far I've avoided adding the link just because like in our testing and stuff, if I accidentally click on something, I don't want it to like take us there right away. Yeah, it's going to be so much better than this effect here since we fixed that stuff. So we'll add that in a second. What else do we need to do to this? I think we're good. I think I'm going to change this padding here just to be the same. Here we go. Okay. JD Studio doing well. Watching he says watching this makes me question everything I've ever built in Webflow. How you doing? Dude, it's just I have like super high expectations, super high goals. I run into so many walls, seriously. All right, so being a designer first, did you ever work with WordPress? If so, any tips to transition with Webflow? I did work with WordPress. I did use like off of the shelf themes that I bought from, Creative Market and Envato and Envato. So I've been down that road, and I think I was using Visual Composer in those days, and I'm not sure if that's still around. It's been probably 4 years since I've built anything in WordPress. And I think that the biggest difference there is that whenever I wanted to do anything custom, I would hire a developer. And that's what I still recommend for working with WordPress, because you can just wreck a site if you don't know what you're doing. And that's why developers are there. But then moving into Webflow, it's like my biggest advice is just use the tool. It's literally just like seriously learn by doing, because you'll actually start to pick things up, like front end code and what things mean. You'll pick those up as you go. You can see I'm still learning, learning the difference between Z index and Z transform. Still picking stuff up. So learn by doing is what I would recommend. VC is still around, my biggest nightmare. Yeah, dude, it's slowed down websites like crazy, but it's literally the only thing I could do to edit stuff myself. So Webflow University is amazing, Tepish. Seriously, it's they've done such an incredible job, and props to Waldo. Waldo is my dude. Yeah. I agree about Figma and XD. I find myself gravitating to Figma because of the interface, but both are good. Yeah, both are great, actually. Better than anything else we have on the market, in my opinion. But I like XD. How is Webflow when it comes to taking payment information? Zach, you should buy Chris's book and let me know. I'm kidding. It's pretty good. So for the bulk of our courses and like resources and stuff, we still use Teachable as our payment processor. That's just because it's linked with the back end of the learning management system and stuff. However, that being said, I do think that there is some potential for us moving on to Webflow for e-commerce as soon as they start fleshing out the features. Commerce. All right. So Nafe asks, Webflow seems perfect for personal websites that you only need to know how to edit. How about building Webflow websites for clients who are not necessarily code savvy? Actually, it's great. It's actually better than WordPress in my opinion, because you can give them editor access. It doesn't look like this at all. And I'll just take one small break and show you guys what that looks like. So let's say we have the pocket full of dough page, right? And Chris has editing abilities. He's not in the designer here, but let's say he wants to come in here and change some of this text. So if we go to the editor, close out of this page before Webflow yells at me. This is what your clients would see. So it's this little bar down at the bottom. Can you guys see that? And what's cool is that you can go, all right, let's go to its specific page. Let's go to that pocket full of dough page. Hint, hint. So we're gonna go over here, and it takes a minute to load because you're in the editor. But like I said, let's say we wanted to edit this text. Your client could come in here and say like, you know what, edit this text, and then hit publish, and literally they're typing on the page. So you have a different view from your clients, and they can edit any way they want. And then the other cool thing is that like with I don't know, let's say podcasts, right? This is the collection for podcasts that we have going, and we've got just a ton of custom fields. And so if we open one of these up, you can see that all of these fields build a podcast page. So like here's the thumbnail image, and here's the header image, So your client can come in here and just add new podcasts simply by just answering form fields, which is fantastic. And if we look at this page as an example, this is what that page looks like. Now, they're not going to be able to change any of the layout. Like, they couldn't change this column, but they could come in here and say, let's change the title of this podcast, or we could just add a new podcast and it would add all the content where it belongs in here. So that's why I really, really enjoy Webflow for client work, because it's super easy for clients to edit without making any crazy things. Now, they are, okay, disclaimer, clients are going to be clients and they will break stuff, and that's okay, and we can come in and fix it, and that's why retainers exist. But they're not going to be able to like break things like they could in WordPress, you know. All right, so that was an awesome distraction. Let's get back in the designer. Where are we? Okay, so we have one problem that we need to solve, and I think we're kind of good. The more I work with this, guys, the more I realize that like adding a description to these cards, it's only going to work on a specific aspect ratio and a specific like size, and I just don't think it's a good call. So I think I'm going to leave it just with title and just a call to action, watch now, and leave off the whole like double click thing. And just leave it as a link item. But what we need to fix is this type. This type is way too small. So I think that the answer is to just bring in some responsive typography. Now, I did watch a tutorial by t.ricks. Tricks, I think, is still in the chat. If he's not, thanks for joining. But he calls it, I think it's wizardry or wizard. Something like that, wizardry. And it's basically, he sets the body type to a single VW or something like that. And then he has all of his font sizes set by M's, which is great because at a certain aspect ratio or certain like page width, you can change the body type over to like a static pixel size, and that makes it so like no matter how wide something is, the text is not going to overflow, and that's an error that we have here. See? So if I go really wide on this, that text looks stupid, like stupid gnarly, when it's really like meant to look like that. And so what we're going to do is eventually we're going to integrate his way of scaling type, which developers has been doing, you know, for a long time. But the way that he does it in Webflow is really friendly because it's just one change at a certain width where you're swapping that body type out for pixels, and then it locks all of the scaling in place so you don't have issues like this. But for now, we're stuck with VW, so we're gonna add some responsive type to this here. So that may be a little bit too large. Let's see. So I just set it to like a VW width, and we're still going to run into issues at certain sizes. And next up, we got to move into responsive type, but hopefully this will fix our problem of the type being too small on this size of screen. Let's publish it and check it out. Actually, first, the watch button. And the cool thing about that wizardry system is that you can actually set these classes to M's, like as far as width. Instead of using pixels, you can use M's, which is great too. So let's see, 1 VW. Sure, all the devs in chat are like cringing right now. So because the slick slider code resizes the element for the final like display setting, we got to publish to see how it's gonna digest that. Wow, I have 50 viewers on Twitch. That's crazy. Thank you guys for hanging out. And only 10 on YouTube. So the scales have flipped now, which is really great. JT Robinson, thanks for chilling. Van Talen, good to see you. All right, where we're at. Okay, published. You guys notice that publishing is faster today? Oh, thanks, JT. Appreciate that. JD, we'll see you later. Okay, this is a little bit better. I'm not going to push the type too far because we're gonna shift all of these sizings over. Look at that. We're gonna have to deal with that in a minute. Okay, cool. Need to make that a little bit larger. So one of the issues that we had last time was that we set each one of these cards in percentage instead of pixels, and it didn't work for some reason. It's really, really strange. So we can see like the actual link card set to 100%, but the item set to pixels. So what I kind of want to do is, I don't know, man. I'm hesitant to break this again, but let's see. I'm gonna set it to 100%. Or no, excuse me, 33.333%. Going back. Going back. Maybe if we just do 33% on this. Tim, if you're still in the chat, what do you recommend here? It says the min width on the cards was still probably larger than the available space. Yeah, I think so. So let's try publishing it and seeing if it works. Because the issue that we were running into last time, try removing the min width. Okay, hold on. The issue that we were running into last time is that I think that the list No, the wrapper and the slider were flex, and that wrecked the entire slider. It just wouldn't work. But when we set them to just display block, it fixed it for some reason. I don't know that we tested going back to a percentage width here. See what happens on publish with this min width, and then we'll remove it as suggested. Because then we can actually see, like, obviously since there's only 3 in this window, we can kind of see how these font sizes are going to work in the actual designer, which will make it easier to adjust. What's the padding set to on the section? We've got, I think it's like, oh, Webflow. You're killing me, dude. Yeah, this is what happened last time, because we set it to a minimum width of 33%, and this is the error. Isn't that crazy? Woo! Let's see if Webflow will let me check that. Nope. Gotta refresh. I'll let you know in 1 second. I think it's set to like a VW. I mean, it does draw attention to the thumbnail if it covers the whole page. Yeah, it does. It sure does. Not exactly the look that we're going for, but I like it. Okay, so that was just published. So let's check this section padding. We got the section and it's 8 VW and 10. Oh, this should be 8. Right there. What's up, Zav? Xavier? Xavier, thanks for the follow. Leo, thank you for the follow. Appreciate that, guys. Today's been relatively successful. I say relatively because we're not done yet, but I think we'll get done with this today. Okay, so we're just kind of playing around with the issue of the item being 33% of the container. And this happens. Same issue that we were struggling with before, but so if we take the minimum width off, this is what happens. That was the other suggestion from t.ricks. Tepish, I totally agree. If you guys are interested in Webflow and you want some like definite, just concrete tutorials, please check out Tim's channel on YouTube. Somebody link it in the chat, please. Okay, so he says, try setting the size at the top to expand. Okay, so we'll do that. And the list is set to, you know, flex, justified. Same thing that you had in the tutorial. Maybe changing the width back to VW, so the width of the item. So 30. I don't think it was ever VW. I think it was actually just a pixel value. So 500 pix. It really doesn't do anything unless you set a minimum width here for some reason. Could just set it to not shrink or grow. Let's try that. Did that do it? Oh my God. Let's try it. Tepish, I believe that did indeed do it. Let's find out. Does anybody have Webflow crash on them on Chrome frequently? Because I've noticed that it's increasing in frequency. It's kind of concerning. It could be that I'm just draining the resources of this computer with everything that I have going on, streaming and all that kind of stuff. Yes, with heavy sites, yeah. And our site is heavy. I mean, we've got tons of collections. Okay, good. Let's see. Okay, good so far. Dude, we are golden. So that was it. It was the shrink and grow. Wow. You learn something new every day. Okay, so basically what that helps with now is that we can actually set these type sizes so that they look right in the designer, so we don't have to like publish and check it and go back and all that kind of good stuff. So kind of like that. And again, when we add in the wizardry aspect of this, stuff's all going to be golden. But for now, we're going to use VWs because we've got a lot of work to do to reset all of our type sizes. All right, my puppy's barking to get out, so I'm going to refill my water. I'll be right back. Give me 2 minutes, but hang out. I definitely want to finish this with you guys, so I'll be right back. We're back. Okay, Tim says you could actually save time by setting those to EM now and setting the card to VW? What? Okay, so if I set the card width to VW, meaning the item, I mean, what are we thinking, like 30 VW? Because it's going to get resized anyways, right? Oh, card font size. Okay. I was like, dang, we just fixed that. Okay, so maybe like 1 VW. And then we change these to EMs, yeah? Because it's going to be the same thing, right? Yeah. So what Tim just had me do is he changed the card font size to 1 VW and then changed all the content to M. And EM is like a percentage of its parent size. So if the card is 1 VW, then yeah, it's just an easier way to scale. It makes sense. Makes total sense. Then on mobile, all you have to do is change the card font size. Awesome. This is great. Okay. Oh yeah, we're looking good. Okay, so now we just need to work on responsive. Let's get our breakpoint here, 991. Check the custom code. So 991, we're going to show 2 slides, and that will carry us all the way down to 768. So we need to change the card width to 50%. And then, dude, you're totally right. Look at that. That font size is so small. So I'm going to try what he did. He said, all you need to do is change the card font size. So right now it's set to 1 VW and all of this stuff is inheriting. So maybe bumping that up to 2. Oh man, that is easy. So we can go maybe 1.6. It kills me that you can't scale by decimal with your keyboard shortcuts. Like 1.7. This Melinda video definitely needs to be changed. The title is just too long, so we can control that in the CMS. And I want this just to be 1. There we go. Tepish says you can with EM, but not with VW. VH, yeah. It's just silly. What is going on here? Oh, I bet you it's the height. Hold up. Yeah, there it is. You know, honestly, I think that we just need to hide this watch now text, because I think that this text needs to be a little bit bigger, which is no problem. So we'll just hide that. Make this play icon just a little bigger. There we go. Now we can start bumping this up and increasing the width of this thing. Yepers. That is mo better. Let's see. I think I want to have that align bottom. Oops. Let me do that on desktop. Yeah. Beautiful. Okay, so we need to add another breakpoint here because I think that that's going to get super, super small. I think we're going to change this here to display 1. What was this breakpoint again? Let's see. 767. I think anything below 767, we just show 1 slide. Let's see, we go. Item width is just going to be 100% then. Mm-hmm. We can actually increase the size of the padding here so that the 100% is a little bit smaller. Ooh. Shaby? An idea, delete the arrow on touch devices. It's a good one. That is a good idea right there. So we'll just go here. Just hide the arrow wrapper. Yeah, there we go. And then that padding kind of makes sense to increase. Or to decrease a little bit, 14. So Tim's watching this and he's like, this is why you use EM. And then on actual mobile, we'll just get rid of most of the padding. I think we did 2. Now, what is this? think it's just 90% width, so it'd be 5 VW padding on this stuff. Although then you can't see the next one, so you lose that indication that it's a slider. So Tepish says maybe 5 VW padding left, 15 right. That is a great idea. Ooh, I like it. We gotta fix that heading, but I'm liking it. Oh yeah, it's looking good. All right, let's fix our heading size. You're doing mobile now. When did you solve the desktop slider? Well, we fixed the functionality yesterday. No, Thursday. And then now we're just making it pretty. Zach, I don't know. I think we need to start over from scratch. That's funny. Funny man right there. So I don't know if you guys heard that like 2 minutes ago, but there's a massive crash out there. And then some subsequent screaming. And pretty sure, I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure that something fragile was just sacrificed to the toddler gods. Again, I don't know. But this is kind of like one of those, what do you call that? That box where it's like if the Is the cat or dead? What do they call that? Is the cat dead or not? And it's in both states until you open the box. So like the crash out there happened and everything's fine and then also not fine at the same time until I open the door. So I'm just going to leave it closed. We're going to choose to live in a beautiful state right now. Schrodinger's, yes, Schrodinger's cat. That's what it was. Yeah, Schrodinger's crash. And don't worry, there are literally 3 adults out there. They're handling it, I'm sure. Yeah. That's funny. Okay, I think we're good. So let's publish and check. I'm also going to check on my phone. I am the happy kitty in a box, yeah. Oh man, I just moved this coffee. Oh, it smells good. I want another cup, but then I'll turn into like an anxious wreck. What's your philosophy in terms of the roundness of the number for padding and margins? Oh my god. Obviously, like he said use Wix. I think that like I don't know. I can't stand having like a padding of 62 and I don't like the 8 pixel grid or the 8 pixel scale. I just like sticking to like 10s and 5s and stuff. It just makes sense to me. Metric system all the way. But then there's some instances where just, 12 pixels looks so much better than 15. So I don't really have a theory. Tepish says it has to be a nice number. Yeah. There are some things that just require that weird number. And it bugs my OCD, but hey. All right, let's see. Future dev whip. See, this is where having an overhead camera would actually help because then like I could look at my screen and then you guys could look at my screen. And yes, I know that we can check things on Chrome and we will, but I also want to check them on mobile. Oh, it looks so good. Okay. Here we go. Let's see. Matter of fact, let me change to video only. No. No. All right. So good. Trying to get the right. Yeah. Super cool. I'm pumped, guys. This looks great. I think we got some just like general refining to do, but I can totally hand that off to Sang and he can handle that before we publish. And then of course we're going to have to redo everything when we implement like M's and stuff. Heck yeah. All right, let's just check things out on desktop real quick. do a refresh here. This whole process is up on VODs. It's also on YouTube, so those will last a little bit longer before I pull those down. Is this all going to make it to the public site? I think so. Yeah. So we wanted to change. I'll show you guys before we kind of do a final review. But we wanted to change. We wanted to swap out these cards here for that carousel. And so I'm thinking that's so much better. Like this is the thing that we're changing. How do you handle page speed with Webflow? Do they have caching included? I believe they do. We haven't had any major issues with page load except for like background videos and stuff like that. But we also use Cloudflare for a lot of our like DNS and stuff. So I think it's like we're doubling up on Cloudflare or something like that. But we haven't seen any major issues. We have definitely like room for improvement, but nothing crazy. All right, let's see this. Oh yeah. So we got a little issue there. I don't know what's going on there. See that? Where the circle is kind of like going outside of a box. It's weird. I don't know. So we'll fix that. Slider works great. And then let's go. We'll open DevTools and set it to this here. Oh. Yes, sir. So now we've moved into our 2-up. Okay, so I'm noticing right here that the arrows are a little wonky, so we'll have to fix those. I honestly don't know that anybody would need the arrows on tablet. I think our mobile solution is really elegant, so we might want to just use that. So you remember on mobile, we've got different padding set up. So it's actually tighter on the left side than it is the right, thanks to Tepish there. And then we don't have any arrow buttons. So I think we're going to implement that on tablet as well. Because they look weird sitting there. So tiny and useless. Anyway, let's do that real quick. So the first thing I'm going to do is change this to the 5. Yep. Change that to 15. And then change this to 5. This to 15. So that'll set the gradients, and then I'm just going to hide the arrow wrappers. Boom. And then with this, just make sure that we remove any of like the custom stuff that we did on this side. Let's see, on responsive here. Yep, okay. The tablet size is so weird in Webflow, isn't it? It's just kind of awkward. I feel like we used to be able to hold the option key when you typed the unit in to the padding, and then you hold option and hit enter, and then it would apply to the other side. Because if I hold the option key here and I scale these up and down, they scale together. But whenever you're entering in a custom number here, I don't know that So like 3 option enter, and it doesn't change the bottom one. Did that work before? I feel like it worked before. It was really nice. Okay, let's see. Oh yeah, you're right. Tepish, you are absolutely right. So let's go ahead and just lose all that. And we can just keep it all the same. Same thing with this here. Just lose all the custom dimensions that we added because it's going to inherit from the tablet state. Yeah. I feel like these want to be single. I feel like those want to be like single slides as well. What do you think? See, at this point, I could see you having 2, but then when you get down to like this level, they feel a little small. And then desktop is just beautiful. Just sitting there looking pretty. Jamil, why not using M's rather than VW and Pix? Yeah, we definitely talked about that, and we're going to be converting the entire site over. But right now we use kind of a mix of VW and pixels, and it's gnarly, but it's what we got now. So rather than try and tackle the entire thing at once, we're just gonna roll with it and fix that at a later date. All right, let's publish one more time and check it. Radis, good to hear from you. Just finished lecturing, nice. I am still live, although we are wrapping up here. I'm kind of happy with this. All the buttoning up in the background, and you know, obviously we're gonna duplicate these carousels throughout. The homepage will probably have like 6 or 7 of them, and then it's really simple to change here. Let's just go ahead and do that. So I'm going to duplicate this. You can just grab the whole section and bam, done, duplicated. One thing that I didn't do yet is add the link. So we can actually just link to the current video. So whatever item is filling this space, we can just link to that. No problem. I'm not going to open it in a new tab. We'll set that. And then the cool thing about Webflow is that you can always take your collection lists and filter them. So like this could be all the videos on the future. So we've got 20, but we could just basically say, actually, let's go 200 because we're crazy. And then video category, we'll leave that blank. And then we'll add a sort order to, let's see, published on, and we'll go newest to oldest. So that way, this is literally like the most recent videos that we have on the site that we've uploaded from YouTube's. And then let's say we wanted to set this to, I don't know, design fundamentals. Design fundamentals. And we change this collection down here. We filter it. Video category is design. That's great. And then sort order is sort by published on, newest to oldest again. And we don't want to limit anything. Here we go. And let's say we take this, duplicate it one more time, go. Business is nasty. And we'll go video category equals, we must not have a business category yet. That needs to change. Maybe we'll go change your mind set. Haha. Okay, so then we got 3 categories of sliders, and then these are our first iterations of stuff, you know, without buttons and all that kind of good stuff. Okay, let's publish that, and then we'll test for the final time. Yeah. Prachi Gupta just entered. Which software are we using? Well, we're using Webflow to develop and XD to design. Tepish, that's a problem for the future. The entire first year and second year that I was working as the future and not blind, the puns were out of control. I think I've done them all. So there it is. Hot Rod says, looks great. Well done. Thank you. Appreciate that. Jamil, I get it. I do have the same situation whenever I'm developing a site. At some point I mix both, and yeah, I mean, there's a right way to do things, and we're going to make the site right, but that's not something like, I don't want to change a single page right now because it's going to push the changes throughout. Like as soon as we change one class, it's going to push the changes across all 600 of our pages. So, yeah. See, still working on that. Oh, the publishing is crazy. That's why. We'll wait, refresh it, see if our changes were pushed. Yeah, they were. Okay, the links work. The hover effects, however, were only applied to the item and not the class. So you can see when we duplicated it, these hover effects are not applying correctly. So that's something we got to fix. So this tab is crashing, so I'm going to refresh it. Jamil, for the sliders, I guess you're using Slick Slider rather than the native Webflow slider. Absolutely, because we want true CMS integration where we're not limited to how many items we can pull in. And when we swipe, we want to make sure that like the slider responds not to go like the entire carousel width to slide like all 3 videos over, but just one at a time. That was the big part of the journey. That was like the major issue. All right, let's take a look at this interaction here. You can always tell if there's an interaction on this right here. So let's diagnose. So in this version of the site, we've got recently design. So recently and change your mindsets are not working. right there. So you can see the B card not carrying over. So I'm assuming that it's because the animation that we have on this is applying only to the element. You see this right here? My camera might be in the way of that, so I'm gonna move it into view. Oh God. Windows. All right. So this is really important. I don't know if you've experienced this, but we have the interaction, meaning all of the hover effects that we have on this thing, they're working on this one slider, and it's because they're applied to the element and not the class. So we're going to turn that on and apply it to class B card. Okay. Size that. And I think we could just preview this and make sure. Yeah, there we go. So it's probably the same thing with the internal stuff, where it's only applying to specific elements and not the classes. So you can see right there, that's what's going on. It's working on one, it's not working on the others. All right, so it says only children with this class. It should work, shouldn't it? If we go all elements with this class, literally when you hover over one card, all of them will go, right? All right, Webflow detectives, why isn't this working? So it's working on one, and not these guys. Oh, Tepish, you're right. So we copied it. We copied it and then we changed it on one. Okay, so we changed it on that one and then could I move my face? Let's see. I can't move the face and maybe I can. There we go. There we go. That might help. All right, so we've got, so this is the one that works, the design fundamentals. So let's make sure here. These don't. And preview, same thing. So design fundamentals is working correctly. So I think Tepish's suggestion is to delete these guys. And start with the one that works now. And then if we go into B card, we've got mouse hover. It's attached to the class. Right there, class B card. And so what are you saying? Now we duplicate it, Tepish? Jamil's like, move your face, dude. Hey, Julianne, thank you for the follow. Mr. Apaco, thank you for the follow. Who is Marcos? I want to know too. Thank you for the follow. And I think, let's see, Xavier's, Leo. Yeah, we covered you guys. Thanks again. Okay, let's try it. So we're going to duplicate the slider that works. Okay, and that's the wrong thing. Is what that was. Okay, so we just straight up duplicated it. Okay, design fundamentals works. Nope. 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 Why you do this to me? Trigger on all elements with the same class. Okay. And then we analyze this. Only affect the class and then only children with this class. Which should work, right? That's going back up to the first one. Did you see that when we moved it? Okay, I'm just gonna do this. Let's try this. We're just gonna break it. We are just gonna break it. So we're changing it to all elements with this class. Let's see how this does. Oh God. Yeah, that's what I thought was gonna happen. All right, so let's change it back. We only want to affect the child elements, but for some reason it's not pulling the class right. Okay, children, done. This one. Only children. Yep. Oh, hey, enjoy the supermarket. Enjoy that. Okay, so maybe you have to activate the start state. I don't think that's it, because it's like it works on this top one, but then it doesn't trigger on these ones. This is really weird. Tell you what, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to publish it. And then we're going to see if that fixes the issue on the front end. And maybe, hopefully, it's just a bug in the back end. Might be a bug with the collections. Yeah, it could be. It was working before, though. I don't know. It's weird. Zach needs groceries. This is probably something I'm going to reach out to Webflow about, because it should, like, we should have everything set up correctly. But let's see. We'll empty a cache and reload. right, so this is our first slider. We don't have any hover effects on this one. Here's the one that should work, and it does. Okay. But this one? No. But if you notice, the linking doesn't even work on this, on any of our copies. What is going on? What is this? It doesn't work on this? Hold on. Hold up. Hold up. Okay, I'm just going to duplicate this one time. Okay, mouse hover. Class B card. Okay. Okay. What? First one doesn't work now. But the second one does. What is going on here? Okay, linking works. This is the other thing. I don't want to hit that back page, right? I don't want to hit the back, but then Just when you thought you nailed it. Let's try this. Let's just set it to element and stop expecting it to work like it's supposed to. And then just set separate ones. Is it hacky? Yeah. But maybe that's the way we need to do it. Just that second one. That's so weird. Okay. Jamil says, we're using the same classes for the 3 rows on the same page. That may cause issues. Could we try swapping between them? It looks like it should definitely work, says Tepish. Another way to test it, delete the row that works and check again if it works on any other row. Okay, so what I'm going to do is go back to, let's see, using this as class, then using it under B class, and then same thing here. Okay, so that automatically carried over. All right, so there we go. Check it one more time. So the first one works. And the second, what? It was just a bug, I guess. That's so weird, dude. Literally, I just reset it to what it was. I honestly didn't change a damn thing. Okay, so I just copied and pasted. 1 works. 2 works. 3 works. Chat. Like, okay. I literally changed absolutely nothing about it's. What a waste of 15 minutes. Holy crap. I don't. What? What? All right. Well, it works, so that's cool. It's just that easy. Jamil, I don't know what you did, man, but maybe the vibes that you were sending in actually worked. So thank you. Oh, man. Okay, guys, I think that's it. So at this point, I would hand it off to Sang and have him integrate it into the homepage of the website, and he would do all the QCing to make sure that all the spacing is right throughout and all that kind of stuff. Tepper says Webflow is watching and was like, "Oh no, we got to fix that." Maybe if anybody's watching from Webflow, let me know in the chat. They've watched our stuff before, so I would not be terribly surprised. All right, I think that's it. Yeah, I don't think we need to do much else today. Well, hopefully you guys enjoyed. I think this is where we're gonna stop. Tomorrow, what is today? Today's Tuesday. Tomorrow, what we're gonna be doing is starting down the creative research path for my personal website. And we're doing this in partnership with Webflow. We're creating a series, and I'm broadcasting all this stuff live, but we're recording the screen so that we can chop it up and make a little series about it on the main future channel. So tune in, bring your Pinterest boards, bring your resources, because we're going to be digging in to some research. So that's tomorrow at 10:30. Nate just got here. Oh no. All right. Tepish Knife stream, got a lot of administrative stuff done myself during that time. Nice. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day as well. And yeah. Do me a favor, if you're on Twitch, just put like a W in the chat, because we definitely won this. I'm trying to hit this one achievement where it takes 25 people to chat at the same time. So if you wouldn't mind, just throw a W in there. That'd help me out. Appreciate that. Awesome. All right, guys. I think we're gonna go raid somebody. What do you think? Who's streaming right now? Let's see. Who is online? Oh, AAOA is online. Let's go raid him. He's a designer as well. I think we need to do that. All right, how do we do this? You want to raid Nick Marks? Yeah. I don't think he'll notice, dude. Raid channel, AAOA. Okay. All right, guys. Thank you so much again. It was a fantastic stream. I really enjoyed having all of you in the chat, and I will see you tomorrow. So let's go raid AAOA, and guys, show them some love. Let them know in the chat that we're here. Be nice. And yeah, thanks. We'll see you tomorrow.
Finally moved in.
It's a great old house. Good bones, wraparound porch.
The pipes are making strange noises.
We have this. If I publish the elements now, that will take some times. In here, let's review that. We should let me check. Should. So that means now. Hi. Hi. Welcome everyone. My first raid. My heart. Thank you. Thanks a lot. How was the sliders? Did you do everything? What do you mean co-working? Welcome, Kali. Hi again, because I was in the MrBenBurns stream earlier, so hi again everyone. Thank you for being here, always appreciate it. And yeah, so you got it done. Nice, good job on that. For everyone who don't know me, I'm hehe. Or AOA. I'm a designer. I do mostly Figma stuff, and right now we are taking a look at the new Figma update and breaking everything, as always. And yeah, welcome in. If you stay here for a bit and you like the stream, feel free to follow this channel. If you don't like the stream, which is an option as well, feel free to not follow this channel.